What is good, YouTube, and welcome back to a brand new video. It has been quite some time since I've done a rebuild on my favorite team. I believe the last time I did one was right before the trade deadline, where I talked about what I wanted to see them do at the deadline. And of course, there was literally no activity basically for the Blazers. Today we're going to jump in and talk about what is next for the Portland Trailblazers and what I would love to see them do going forward, and talk about a number of different things. So let's go ahead and jump in and do this Portland Trailblazers rebuild in 2K25. Before we get into today's video, make sure you guys drop a like on this one and subscribe if you're new to this channel. As always, greatly appreciated. YouTube tells me about 57% of the people that watch these videos aren't actually subscribed. So if you do fall in that 57%, want to change that as we're on the road to 50,000 subs, that would be greatly appreciated. So let's talk about the current state of the Portland Trailblazers. Obviously, I was a little shocked that this team made no moves at the deadline. I thought for sure Robert Williams would at least be gone, and that did not happen. I know a lot of us wanted to see Jeremy Grant get traded. And this team has been kind of on a play-in type of run, but it more than likely they won't make it. They've been on a few win streaks here and there, but overall, it's just been, of course, where the Blazers are supposed to be. They're not a great team right now, and it's kind of hard to understand who will be like the superstar going forward on this roster, because I don't know if Scoot will become that for us. He had some bright spots this year, looks better than last year. Shaedon Sharpe obviously has been great too, like usual. Kamara has been an all defensive type of player, so I'm actually really happy with this one, because it feels like every Blazer rebuild we've done, Kamara has never been a huge part of what we're doing, because his overall is never good in 2K, but today it's actually been developed or jumped up, or I guess a roster update rather, and so he'll be a big part. So I think we want to keep Denny Avdia and Tamani Kamara as our starting forwards. To me, that's a non-negotiable, unless if, you know, Kamara starts at the 2, whatever, but I think these two have to be starters going forward, and then hopefully Klingon can also develop into a starter, and then your defense would be really good. And you got to figure out what is going to go on the backcourt. I think the easy answer would be Shaedon Sharpe and Scoot Henderson develop, which they will in 2K, but I don't know if I want to make it that simple, if that makes sense, because that would be the easy way of doing things. But what we're going to do, something the rest of year one, we'll see how this team finishes out, and we'll see if we make the playoffs or not, basically, or the play-in rather. So we'll find out. I'm also going to put Klingon in over Robert Williams, because obviously Robert Williams is not starting like that. So we're going to put Klingon in, and we'll take those minutes away. So Klingon will continue to start. Aiden has been hurt as of late, but hopefully we get a good lottery pick, because that'll obviously determine or change a lot of what we're doing. But we'll see. I'll see you guys at the end of year number 1, and we shall see how this team finishes out. So Shea wins MVP. Sarr is your rookie of the year. Jonas Valanciunas is your 6th man on the Kings. Giannis defensive player. Christian Brown most improved, and Trae Young's your clutch player. Mark is your coach of the year, and John Murphy is your executive. So we did not go on any type of run to get into the play-in tournament, so we're exactly where we're supposed to be. Klingon makes an all-rookie second team, which is great. But yeah, we're exactly where we're supposed to be. We're a lottery team, which is what we wanted. Obviously, there's a lot more we need to do to put this team in to contention eventually. One thing I also want to discuss, I didn't really mention earlier, I'm starting to wonder if we're ever going to be able to get rid of Jeremy Grant's contract. At the time, I didn't think it was that bad, but you know, I did. A lot of people are saying how bad of a contract it was, and I think they could have traded Jeremy Grant. They just haven't done it for whatever reason. I think the longer you wait, the harder it is going to be to trade this man, and they might be stuck with them until that contract is on like the last year, or they'd have to attach an asset potentially to get rid of him. I don't know, man, because this new CBA, you know, teams aren't going to want to take on bad salaries. So I don't know. We'll have to see how that works itself out, but let's see who goes on to win the championship, as you'll have Houston of all teams get in the finals. I usually never see that. So shout out to the Rockets. Do they beat the Knicks though? Let's find out. And no, the Knicks go on to win in 5. So Cat is your finals MVP. LeBron James, and then Chris Paul, Lowry, and all these guys are trying to retire, but let's go to the lottery. So obviously, fingers crossed we get lucky here, because if you're able to land like Cooper Flagg or Ace Bailey, that would be, you know, a game changer, or even Dylan Harper or whatever. I don't know if we could pass on any of those type of talents, so we'll see. We have the ninth best odds, 4.5% chance, so more than likely we're not going to get lucky and jump up, but you never know. So let's skip the results, and oh wow, okay, well, that actually worked out really well. We get the number 2 overall pick. So I will tell you right now, I don't know, based off what we've seen so far from Scoot Henderson, if you could take yourself out of drafting drafting Dylan Harper or something along the lines of that. Like, I don't think anybody should be off the table. So I guess whoever the Kings take, we really have to figure out, are we going to take Flagg, or we're going to take Ace Bailey, we're going to take Dylan Harper? But getting lucky in the lottery makes this video a lot easier, obviously, because we could potentially get our superstar here. So ethical tanking, I guess, has worked out. Now Chauncey Billups needs to go, and I know there's not like a great candidate this offseason to hire, but as long as Chauncey is gone, I think a lot of people can agree with that. You know, he's had his moments, but I think it's just time to just move on if you can. So maybe he comes back again and wouldn't totally surprise me. But now we need to get a different head coach. Now, I hate firing coaches in this first offseason because there's never like anybody that makes sense. But I guess we can hire like an assistant. Is there a real assistant here anywhere? So his name is Millen, but I'm probably gonna get blocked by Nate McMillan. Used to coach the Blazers a long time ago. Joshua Willis, who actually looks pretty good. I don't know who Joshua Willis is. I might be a casual, but got a lot of badges and his stars aren't bad. So welcome to the Blazers, Joshua Willis. All right. So on draft night, we now have the second overall pick. I think we're just going to kind of see how the board falls, obviously. We'll have to see who the Kings take number 1, and then we'll kind of reflect on what we do. Do we want to take Dylan Harper? Do we want to take Ace Bailey? I'm assuming Flag will go 1 if I had to guess. It will be Flag. So do I take Ace Bailey or do I take Dylan Harper is the question. Both from Rutgers, obviously. We won't be taking anybody else outside these two. And I kind of like the idea of taking Dylan Harper and playing him at point guard for the future. I don't know if I don't watch college basketball, so feel free to correct me if Dylan Harper can be a point guard. I mean, he averaged, according to this, he averaged 8 assists. So, but based off of what we've seen from Scoot Henderson, I like Scoot, but I don't think you could say, okay, we have Scoot Henderson, so we can't draft Dylan Harper. So I'm going to do that. We can have Dylan Harper and Shaedon Sharpe as our backcourt going forward, and then maybe Scoot and Simons are traded, you know, just to change it up a little bit. Because like I said, the easiest thing to do for me today would be just, hey, Scoot and Sharpe will develop, and then we'll have their starting 5, and it'll eventually work out. But I don't want to just sit there and do nothing. The Spurs got 2 back-to-back picks and walked away with Ace Bailey, so shout out to them. But yeah, I think I like that. So Dylan Harper is a Blazer now. So yeah, it is another guard, obviously, which is not what we want to see. But I want to keep Denny Avdia and also Tamani Kamara as our starting forwards throughout the video, if possible. So Harper, welcome. Thibault's player options accepted, obviously. He's barely played this year, it feels like. Chris Murray and Ryan Repair will accept those. Scoot will accept, and then Shaedon Sharpe will accept. Qualifying offers, Jabari Walker. We can extend that. And then for free agency, we have, you know, money to spend if we want to. But let's take a look at what we also have going on. So to me, with Dylan Harper being drafted, Anthony Simons, as much as I love him, and I would love for him to be a big part of what we're doing, I do think trading him probably makes the most sense, unfortunately. Shaedon Sharpe and Dylan Harper. We're going to be moving Dylan Harper to the point guard, and then we'll have to see what Scoot does, you know, developing-wise. I don't know if I'll trade Scoot. Probably try to keep him as a backup, I guess, which will be interesting. Maybe we trade him in the future. Jeremy Grant, probably going to be stuck with him, as I mentioned. It's going to be really hard to get rid of that contract. And then we need to trade Robert Williams 100%. So let's start with that. So I think we'll start by trading Anthony Simons and Robert Williams. So let's start with trading away Robert Williams, who probably should have been traded a long time ago. So this trade to me makes quite a bit of sense. Now, I will say a first-round pick probably would not be in order, but the Lakers don't have a... Never mind. They don't have another pick to trade. I was going to say, I'll take a couple seconds off them, but a first-round pick for Robert Williams seems a little rich. It sounds like that's what the Blazers were looking for at the deadline, which I think is just crazy talk. So we have Simone, and okay, so this one could be interesting where the Pistons get themselves a center. We get a top 3 protected pick. So I'm not looking for anybody to join the rotation because obviously we have plenty of guys to play already. So I think we'll do this one with the Pistons. But again, I'm not going to take a first-round pick off of anybody. I think that's a little too crazy. Just give me a couple seconds. We call it good. So Robert Williams is gone. And now it's time to figure out what we're going to do with Anthony Simons. I would love to get at least one first, I think, for him if possible. And obviously, I think a lot of people agree. And this is probably where I always trade him to Orlando. But it just makes so much sense. But we'll see if there's anything different that pops up that we may like. But Orlando, to me, just makes so much sense for him. But if Orlando wanted to go after somebody bigger, I would understand that too. Zach Collins on first from the Bulls is intriguing and interesting because Zach Collins used to be a Blazer, was obviously drafted here, was traded here on draft night, rather. A lot of protected Bulls pick, which is intriguing. We could get our pick back from the Bulls and have our picks freed up potentially, and they get a point guard. But, I mean, they have Josh Giddey kind of going off right now, so I don't know about that. George Nang, Nurkic, Walker Kessler, that's a little too crazy. The Lakers, probably not. And then the Orlando Magic want to offer me Cole Anthony and KCP. To me, like I said, man, Orlando, it just makes too much sense. So KCP will start things off, and then just give me, like, I don't know, I guess it was Cole Anthony. What more? They need 5. Oh, they don't need that much money in this trade to match. So give me like Hunter Salas and one first-round pick that's like lottery protected. That should be, to me, like a decent trade for Orlando to accept. Of course, they want to give me, okay, so you want to give me 2 firsts instead? Sure, we'll do it. I'll give you a couple seconds. So KCP is on the team, but obviously could be moved at the deadline, maybe if some contending team wants to, you know, squeeze services out of him. But Yeah, I think that is kind of what we're going to be rocking with. So Dylan Harper is going to be the brand new point guard in town, and we'll kind of have to see how the rest of the team progresses. I don't know if there's anything else we want to do in free agency, because Harper will be moved to point guard in just a second, and then there's some other guys that could play. So yeah, I think I'm fine with this. Let's go to player progression. Let's see what this is looking like. So Jabari Walker is up. So Kamara is going down, which I totally disagree with. I'm not letting Kamara regress. I want him to be a big part of today. I have not been able to do that in a single Blazers rebuild. It's really annoying. So if anything, this man should be going up to an 82. Sue me. I do not care. This guy should be progressing, not regressing. I'm moving to an 82. I don't care what you say. So Scoot Henderson, Shaden Sharp, Aiden Kamara, Klingon, Denny Avdia, Dylan Harper. But as far as play regression is concerned, Jeremy Grant's the only one that went down in overall. Usually I dump Jeremy Grant right away, but I'm going to go ahead and tell myself that his contract's going to be really hard to get rid of. So if we want to get rid of it, probably going to have to attach an asset to get rid of it. And Scoot is developed into an 85, as you can see. That's why it kind of makes things weird, because Scoot and Sharp will develop and we can win with those guys. But I want to challenge myself not to just be lazy and let that be the case. So we do have to cut somebody. So it'll probably be Hunter South. So we got in that Magic trade. But all right, I'll show the rotation for year number 2. So here's what the rotation is going to look like for year number 2. So this is what we're rocking with. So Dylan Harper is going to start with Shaden Sharp, Tamani Kamara, who I moved to small force, went up to an 83. And then Denny Avdia, DeAndre, Donovan Klingon, Scoot Henderson off the bench. Jeremy Grant and Jabari Walker is kind of your bench right now. So a lot more to figure out. But other than that, I do want to look at shot tendency. So Scoot's an 84 off the bench. But I actually want to reduce that just a little bit. And I'm going to put, Shaden Sharp shot tendency really high. So let's make sure he becomes a stud scorer. And then Dylan Harper's is already pretty good out of the draft, but let's make sure he scores quite a bit too. So something along the lines of that, where Scoot's running the second unit. Again, he might eventually be traded away just to make things different in this rebuild. But I'll see you guys at the end of year number 2, and we shall see if this team surprises us for a lottery team again. I'm intrigued by what we have so far, but hopefully, lottery wouldn't be bad. But if we made the plan, I wouldn't be mad at that either. So let's just let 2K determine what is going to be the direction that thing's going. So Shea wins MVP once again. Dylan Harper wins Rookie of the Year as he averaged 23 and 7 out of the gate as a rookie, which is awesome. George, 6th-man Young Offensive Player. Matas Bazilis, Most Improved. And Trae Young is your Clutch Player of the Year. Greg Popovich, Coach of the Year. And Nathan Mack is your Executive. So here's your All-NBA first team, All-NBA second. And we get Dylan Harper making All-NBA third team right away, which is obviously awesome. Now, we did push his shot tendency up to become a stud right away. Now, we didn't make the playoffs or the play-in or anything, so that didn't really change much. But Harper and Shaden Sharp were really good, which is what we want. And then Aiden with 15 and 9. Aiden probably won't be resigned this offseason. I want to kind of give the keys to Klingon. Denny Avdia with 13 as well. And then 13 from Scoot Henderson with 4 assists. 3 rebounds off the bench. Kamara with 9. And then 8 from Jeremy Grant. 6 from Klingon with 8 rebounds. But Klingon's probably going to get the opportunity to start next year. Yeah, and then we got to figure out what else we're going to do after that. But let's see who goes on to win the championship. We also need to see where our pick ends up. This is going to be an interesting offseason. Pistons and Mavericks. So we gave Detroit, obviously, Robert Williams. So I guess that maybe helped them get to the finals. And they will win the championship. So Robert Williams goes to get a ring with the Pistons. So we got LeBron James calling it a retirement again. And Durant's going to retire too. So we'll leave that the way it is. For the lottery, we are projected to pick number 6. Now, it says it's going to the Bulls, but it's actually lottery protected until like 2029 or 2028 or something like that. So no matter where this pick ends up, it should go back to us. So let's see if we get lucky again. We got number 2 last year, and this year we will get number 7. So actually, 2K already had that correct, so that's awesome. I don't even have to fix that. So the 7th pick, Pelicans via Milwaukee, Knicks via Washington, which should be the Wizards, and then Thunder via Utah, Hornets, Magic. So I guess Anthony Simons didn't really help the Magic out that much, which sucks because I think he'd be a great fit there. But again, I wouldn't be surprised if, do we hire a different, real head coach now, potentially? Let's see. I mean, there's some real options here now. So maybe we could go for somebody here, or do we just rock with Joshua Harris again? Or is that what his name was? Yeah, Joshua Willis. Sorry. I'm going to rock with him again. Why not? So we'll see how that goes. But let's go to draft night, and let's figure out if there's anything else we want to do on draft night. I don't think there's anybody, glaring to trade away. So probably not. Jeremy Grant obviously remains someone I want to trade away. Maybe we could find a way to... I don't know. Could we find a way to get rid of Jeremy Grant's contract on draft night somehow? So maybe we trade down and someone takes on his contract. Kind of reminds me when the Mavericks and the Kings, I think, did a trade where didn't the King, I can't remember exactly how it went, but didn't the Mavericks take Rashawn Holmes' contract on or something, or is it the other way around? Something like that. So who would want to take Jeremy Grant's contract, there's anybody that would want to do that. So Phoenix just had Durant retire, so they might have an opportunity to do so if they wanted to trade up, but that's only 2 picks. So I'm not sure they'd be down for that. Maybe the Thunder, no, not Thunder, Pelicans, Nuggets, like would any of them be interested? I have no idea. Let's throw Jeremy Grant and our pick in there, and let's see if anybody offers us that kind of return. So Grant in 7, and I'm looking to just trade down if possible, just to get rid of his contract, but don't know if we'll get that kind of... Okay, so this does pop up. So we get Grayson Allen. So I guess if the Suns wanted Jeremy Grant, they're probably under the second apron now too, so they could probably do this. I don't hate it. I want to get rid of Jeremy Grant's contract. Now we do take Grayson Allen's on, but it will actually expire sooner. So if the Suns think Grant could fit next to Devin Booker or whatever, so sign me up. I'm gonna do this. So let's go ahead and make this trade happen. We trade down 2 spots, get rid of Grant's contract, save a little bit of money. So we'll do that, and now we'll go see who is here at number 9. So who went number 7 overall, by the way? So Darius went, and then Nate went, and then Jasper Johnson went. So who do we take here is the question. We might need a new center, which Chris and Jaden could make a ton of sense here. We also have like Karim Lopez down here or Koa Pete. We also could use a backup power forward, so I don't hate the idea of Koa. So give me Koa Pete here at Arizona, and that will be our draft. We'll address the backup center in the free agency. So we got Koa Pete, who should be good right away for us, and then player options. KCP, of course, accepts that. No problem there. Chris Murray. I might decline this, honestly, because I just don't really see him becoming anything for us. So I'm going to decline Chris Murray, and Klingon and Scoot Henderson will bring back. I'm not going to let Scoot walk for nothing, obviously. Jabari Walker, probably won't bring him back, and then Sharp and Repair. We'll bring both of them back. So for free agency, we got Sharp, Chris Murray, Ryan Repair, DeAndre Ayton, which we're not bringing back. Jabari Walker, who wants way too much money, and then Thibault. How much did Walker average this year? 4 and 4. It was a great rebounder, but 20% from 3 is just not good at all. So let's go ahead and, of course, start with offering Shaedon Sharpe his new contract. That is a no-brainer. Everyone else, I think we're going to renounce, honestly. I don't think we're bringing any of these guys back. So outside of that, we do need a backup 5, relatively cheaper, obviously, but to back up Klingon. So Harper and Scoot, and then you have Grayson Allen and KCP, but obviously we'll have Shaedon Sharpe taking over that spot. Grayson Allen's a backup 2 next year isn't horrible. Koa Pete brought in, and we need a backup small forward and a backup shooter or a backup center. So let's bring in. I guess we could bring Chris Murray back, but how much is he asking for? 11.5. Yeah, I can't get there. No, thank you. So I'm gonna renounce everybody. So I'm gonna renounce these guys. Actually, I'll keep Repair. We'll keep Repair. I'm gonna renounce everyone else. So we're just gonna keep Shaedon Sharpe and maybe Ryan Repair. Maybe Ryan Repair could be our. What's he listed at? Yeah, power forward. Or no, he's listed as shooting guard. So he might even be able to go up. So I'm gonna give him a 2-year deal and hope that he can turn into something for us. And then let's see what backup centers we have available. So Aiden is still here, but I'm not going for Aiden. We can get Nick Richards or Quinn Post or Zach Collins. Give me Nick Richards off the bench. I don't mind that. So we'll sign Nick Richards to our MLE, it looks like. We'll leave Aiden out there. And then for what we got, Dylan Harper, Scoot, Grayson Allen, Sharp, Tamani Kamara, and then Deni Avdija, Koa Pete, Klingon, and Richards. So that looks good. The only thing I could say here is move Repair to the 3. Hopefully he goes up enough to where he'll be serviceable next year. And he will go up to a 76. So nothing crazy, but I can still rock with that. So we'll do something along the lines of that. All right. So for player progression, after all of that, let's see what the team is going to look like progression-wise. We have Dylan Harper already up to an 86, which is fantastic. Scoot is an 87, 84 Kamara, 84 Klingon, 83 Deni Avdija, and 78 Ryan Repair. So Scoot is on the last year of his rookie contract. So before we have to pay him, we might explore the idea of trading him at the deadline, potentially. Not sure I will, but it's just kind of an idea I have in mind. If we want to get like a different center, that way Klingon remains a backup, which I don't hate the idea of, but it all depends. So we'll see. Trading away Scoot should give us a bunch of opportunities, but we'll see how the team is doing. We'll look at the rotation here in just a second, but I feel like we should be able to make a pretty good trade with Scoot if we find the right trade partner. So up to a 3.5 balance proficiency, and they still want to start Scoot Henderson over Dylan Harper, obviously, but I'm going to start Dylan Harper still. I think Dylan Harper, earned that last year, and then Scoot remain a bench piece for now. So Harper and Shaedon Sharpe as our backcourt. I also think the length and height that this backcourt would offer rather than Scoot at 6'3" gives me a little bit more intrigue. So Harper, Sharpe, Kamara, Deni Avdija, Klingon, Scoot Henderson, Richards, Ryan Repair, and Koa Pete is your rotation. So ideally, if we do make any type of move at the deadline, it would be because we trade for a legitimate 5-man. Because, like I said, I want to keep Kamara and Deni Avdija as the starting forwards, and then Sharpe and Harper as our backcourt. Klingon, if he goes to the bench, that wouldn't be horrible, and I think he'd be a really good bench piece, obviously. But we'll see. So we're 10th power rank, so we'll see what it's looking like by the deadline. I assume we might be a playoff team this year, so we could just pay Scoot in the offseason, but I do think that would be probably not the greatest idea. So I'm hoping to land like a legitimate 5 who would be really good for us to go forward with that. But so far, I can't lie, we're off to a fantastic start. We'll have to see who is available at the deadline that could make sense if we do pull the trigger on something. So we're 38-13 on the trade deadline right now. So you could argue that making a trade wouldn't make a ton of sense, but I got to admit, I think trading Scoot would be for our best interest because I just don't think I can pay him in the offseason and pay this much in the backcourt because obviously Harper will eventually have to be paid, and he's balling out right now. 28 points per game. Sharp is also going off too. So these are the two guys going forward, and Scoot is the odd man out in my opinion. So Denny Avdia 14, 9 from Kamara, who's up to an 85 now, which is great. Like I said, I've not been able to have Kamara be a big part of any Blazers rebuilds we've done. So it's so fun that he's actually part of this finally, where we can start him throughout the video. I don't think there's been a single time where I've been able to do that. But I have the idea, and this is the only idea I have in mind because I'm not going to trade Scoot for like Jakob Poeltl or Walker Kessler. Like, I'm not doing that. The one guy that I find interesting that maybe this could be a potential swap is we talked to the Wizards about Alex Sarr. So we could do a Scoot for Alex Sarr swap. And it's funny and ironic because the Wizards have Damian Lillard right now. But would the Wizards view Scoot Henderson as their future point guard? That's the question. So that is what I'm kind of looking at. So let's see if we can find a way to swap Alex Sarr for Scoot Henderson and see if that can make sense in any regard for them. So let's go ahead and throw Scoot, which he's at the top here. So Scoot for Sarr straight up. Would they just do it straight up, or would there have to be more compensation involved? Let's see. So they don't agree to that right away. I'll give you this Magic protected pick, and they don't agree to it still. Okay. What about a second? And that's all it took. So we get Alex Sarr as our brand new center. So Scoot Henderson's going to go join the Washington Wizards. We have Alex Sarr, who also has another year on his rookie contract. So that's fun. We don't have to pay him quite yet. So yeah, it opens up a lot of different doors. And honestly speaking, I don't know if this for a fact, but I believe based off what salaries we have, we might have max salary cap space this offseason because KCP and Grayson Allen will be off the books. So that could be interesting. Now, the one thing I want to do now is trade Nick Richards because obviously there's no need for Richards anymore unless if we played like Alex Sarr at the 4. But again, I want to start Kamara and Avdia still. So Nick Richards for whatever. I mean, as long as he's just going somewhere else where he'll play, because he's not going to play here anymore. So Fred VanVleet, DiVincenzo, Charles. I'm not looking for anybody who's going to join the rotation. So Max Strus, he's expiring as well, I believe. So this is fine. Max Strus might play, but I might kick him out of the rotation anyway. So that will be our trade. And just like that, you have Harper, Shaedon Sharpe, Tamani Kamara, Denny Avdia, and Alex Sarr as your new rotation with Klingon, Ryan Repair, Max Strus, Koa P, and then that kicked out. I guess Max Strus isn't the worst thing in the world to join the rotation too. So we'll leave that all the way it is. I don't know if this means we'll win a championship this year or not, because it'll be interesting. I guess we'll just have to find out. So we'll submit the rest of the season. Things were going well. Does trading Scoot hurt us? We shall see. I'm assuming it won't. I think Alex Sarr is going to be still a great addition. But we'll have to see how things finish out. And I'll see you guys in the postseason. Jokic wins MVP, Kevin Boozer Rookie of the Year, Josh Giddey 6th Man of Memphis, Wembanyama Defensive Player, Carter Bryant Most Improved, and Harper is your Clutch Player 29-7, Chris Finch Coach of the Year, and Aaron Phillips is your Executive. So Dylan Harper makes All-NBA second team, which is great. Does Shaedon Sharpe make one based off what he was averaging? He does not, unfortunately. But all defensive team, and then nobody on all defensive team for us, but Koa Pete makes all rookie second team. So we're the 5th seed in the West. So we did fall off a little bit after trading Scoot Henderson away, but I still think it was the correct direction going forward. Because, again, I think we're going to have salary this offseason. Actually, Kamara had to be re-signed, so that might be a little hurtful to it, but we'll have to see how much he's asking for once we get to that. But Kamara is cold right now, which definitely sucks. I don't know why that's the case. 9 points, 38% from 3, so not really sure why he's cold. But whatever. So, we get to play the Dallas Mavericks in round 1. Dallas has Kyrie, Branham, Marshall, Anthony Davis, and Lively. So, let's go ahead and shrink this down to an 8-man rotation, and let's see how this would go. So, that kicks out who? I guess that kicked out Koa P, which is the Rook, which is fine. All right. Somebody come around against Dallas, and we will sweep them. So off to a good start. And Minnesota got upset by Memphis. Okay, then. So we got the Timberwolves getting upset by the Grizzlies, who have Giddey come off the bench. The Grizzlies obviously have a good team in their own right, so we'll have to see how this goes. When we current round, and we will be in an even series with them. So now we'll go to Game 5 in Portland. Do we win a championship this early? I don't think it's out of the realm of possibility. But we got to win game 5 here, and we had the lead for a second, but they're going to hang on to it, and they're going to win game 5. Okay, we got to win game 6, so let's see if we could do just that. And they start off very hot, so we have to get back in the game, and I don't know if we will at this point. Maybe. Oh, wait a minute. We might get back in it. We do. Do we hang on to it, though? And we barely will, but we win, and we have forced a game 7. So game 7 in Portland to go to the conference finals this early on. Can we do it? And it's looking like this could be the... it's a close game, though. Very close. 5-point game with 4 minutes left. And we have not scored in quite a bit. Finally get some points on the board, and we will go to the conference final. Shaden Sharp with 31. Dylan Harper with 29. And Max Strus ended up being really good in that one, too. 17 off the bench. So Dylan Harper, 29. And Shaden Sharp, 31. So really good. And now we get Pacers and Pistons, and we draw the Spurs in front of us, who never seem to keep De'Aaron Fox. They also drafted Ace Bailey, obviously, too. So we'll see how this goes. Game 1 goes to San Antonio. Game 2, we even it up. Game 3, 2-1. Game 4, 2-2. Okay, so just like last series, now a 2-2 series, but this time home court advantage is with the Spurs in Game 5. So let's see if we can't take one on the road to get a massive advantage in this one, but no, we will not. So we're going to lose by 8. So we got to really dig deep here. Alex Sarr will be back in the starting 5 now. I didn't realize he wasn't starting to begin with, but can we come out here and win game 6 to force a game 7? It's going to be tight, but I don't think we're going to make it happen. So we lose the conference finals, but that is fine because I think we have another trick up our sleeve this offseason. So Spurs going to win it all, but we got to the conference finals, so we can't be too discouraged about what we did this season. So for the lottery, our pick will be headed to the Bulls this offseason. So for the staff signing, we got Joshua Willis. I mean, do we keep him? I mean, he's been damn good for us. Don't really know if there's anybody I want to replace him with, so I think we'll keep him around. So let's go to rookie signing, and I don't think we have a draft pick at all this offseason, but I could be wrong. But yeah, no draft picks, so let's just go straight to player options. All right. Grayson Allen, of course, no brainer, declining that. We'll accept the rest of these, obviously. And then qualifying offers, nothing. And then the only free agent we got to worry about is Kamara. Now, do we have cap space like I think we do? No, not really. Well, yeah, not really. So we have, I guess we're still over... well, I don't know. We're years in the future, so maybe we're not over second apron, but we have a couple of dead cap, I guess. But yeah, we don't have cap space like I thought we could have, maybe. But Sharp, Dinya, really good contracts, and then Kamara, of course, is the main free agent we got to worry about. So Kamara, wow, I didn't realize he'd ask for this much money. Damn. But I will say he's been or we do have cap room potentially. Maybe there's a cap hold that's really big. I don't know. Or yeah, probably that's what it is, isn't it? So cap holds. Yeah, Strus is big. Yeah, and then, oh, yeah, that's why. So let's renounce all these guys here. So we do have cap room, but a lot of it's going to be going towards freaking Kamara, which I don't hate because Kamara's a stud, obviously. So what else would we bring in outside of Tamani Kamara? So Harper, Shaden Sharp, Ryan Rupert, Deni Avdija, Koa Pete. So we really need a backup guard, basically, for next year as well. So we don't really have the money to go for anybody that crazy. We can't full around on Shaden Sharp, or sorry, Tamani Kamara. We got to keep him in right away. He has no other offers, so we'll keep him. Should come back. Okay, so now backup guard, who makes about 15 million, give or take. So like I already see like Julian Strother, who could be interesting to me. 11, 37% for 3. Lou Dort is intriguing. Jordan Hawkins. But point guards, we have AJ Mitchell, who's been really good. Or Davion Mitchell asking for a lot of money. Or not. AJ Mitchell has been really good, but he's always really good in 2K sim. I don't think we need that much scoring off the bench. Blake Wesley or Kobe Buff. What the hell is Kobe Buffington asking for $38 million for? That's actually insane. Bones Highland, Alvarado. But to me, I actually like the idea of Julian Strother. So let me see if we can get Julian Strother. I don't know if this will get matched or not, but we're going to try. So Kamara and Strother does get matched. So we'll have to find out. And we'll renounce the trade exception too. So we'll have to see what else we have left after that. So we should have money to still sign a good player. DiVincenzo, Alvarado, or there's Isaac Coro, Bradley Beal, which we won't go for. Ben Shepherd is interesting. He shot 1,000% from 3 last year, or 1% or whatever, 36%. I don't know. Do we like Ben Shepherd? I think I do. I think I'm gonna give Ben Shepherd this contract, and that will be our offseason. So Shepherd is our last addition here, and we'll have to see how that goes. So let's go to player progression. Actually, we could bring in another guy, it looks like. Let's bring in a point guard too. So give me, I guess, Ryan Rollins, just for extra depth if needed. So we'll do that. And now this will be the team we're expecting to go on to win it all next year. So we have Harper up to a 90, Shaden Sharp up to an 89, 88 Sarr, 85 Klingon, 85 Kamara, 84 Avdija, 82 Koa Pete, and then 80 Ryan Rupert. So this all looks good, but will it result in a championship? That will be the question. 4-star balance proficiency, and it looks like they want to start Donovan Klingen, which I'm not opposed to. Alexar and Klingen, whichever one you want to do. I think both of them are just going to be really good rotational pieces regardless. We also don't need to run an 9-man rotation anymore, or sorry, 8-man rotation. We'll go back to 9-man. It leaves Ryan Rollins out, but if someone fouls out, he will obviously be pushed in there. So Sharp and Harper will continue to do their things. Kamara, Abdia. So this is the year we're expecting to hopefully go win a championship. Got to the conference finals last year, so hopefully things swing our way this year and we bring home a title to the Portland Trailblazers. The Dylan Harper wins MVP for us, 30 points and 9 assists on the season. Stokes Rookie of the Year, Josh Giddey, 6th man in Washington, Women Defensive Player. Nolan Traeger, Most Improved, and Jalen Brunson is your clutch player. And Billy Donovan, wow, the Spurs went 70 and 12. Phil Wade is your executive, and then yeah, so that was basically it. So Harper, of course, All-NBA first team. Can't imagine we'll have anybody else there. Would have been cool if it would have been the case, but no. And we are the 2nd seed in the West. The Spurs, of course, are the other high seed here. So did the Wizards have success? Did they keep Scoot Henderson is my question. I want to see if they kept him. So I assume they would have had to. Yeah, they did. So they paid Scoot. He averaged 24. He was good. So he was really good for them. But I'm still happy with Dylan Harper, obviously. So Harper, Sharp, Kamara, Avdia, Sar will start now for the playoffs. And here were your player stats. So outside of what we saw from Harper, he had 29 from Shaden Sharp, who's been damn good in this video too. 14 from Denny Avdia, 12 from Koa Pete, 11 from Sar, 8, and then 6, and then 5. So, do we go on to win it all this year is the question. Obviously, first step is getting back to the conference finals to potentially play the Spurs if they make it there. We get to play 2 former Blazers on the Clippers right now with Aiden and Anthony Simons, and then Tyler Hero. Hero and Anthony Simons as a backcourt is very interesting, but let's see if we can't take out the Clippers. I'd be very disappointed if we lose to them, and now we'd beat or play the Thunder, who have Trey Johnson, Shea, J-Dub, Chet, Hardenstein, Noah, Toppich, Caleb Wilson, and Bryson. So they have a ton of prospects on their team right now. Game 1 goes to us. Game 2 goes to them. Game 3 goes to us. Game 4 goes to us. And the Warriors might sweep the Spurs. Oh, wait a minute. I have a feeling that a 3-0 lead is about to be blown. Oh, Jokic and Curry, though, are on the same team. So I don't know. Who would I rather play? Not sure. Are the Spurs about to do it to him? No, they aren't. So we play the Warriors instead of the Spurs. Okay. Well, Jokic and Curry, of course, is very terrifying. So we'll have to see how that goes. But Wemby is terrifying in his own right as well. So, you know, pick your poison, right? So game 1 goes to the Warriors. Game 2. Wow, they're going to do it to us too, aren't they? Unless we even the series, which we do. Okay, so we're not dead yet. We got to win game 5. So at home in game 5, we'll simcast the rest here. We can get to the finals here if we hang on to business here. Looking good right now, as long as we don't let them back in the game, and we will hang on and go up 3-2. So what I got to do now is win game 6, and we're in the finals. Can we do just that? First quarter start out hot, but they're going to get back in the game. Third quarter, we may put them away, and in the fourth, it's a close battle. It is a tie game. We got to watch the end of this, right? This is a game 6 to go to the finals. 101-101. I'm not going to, play this out because we know if I do, things will go horribly wrong. So let's just watch this bad boy. So let's go and just watch the middle of this. And whoops, camera is what I meant to do. So, all right. Let's see. Fingers crossed. We come out here and beat the Warriors here in game 6 to avoid a game 7. So Harper is trying to guard Stephen Curry, and Stephen Curry's going to miss. Wow, good defense by Dylan Harper. It looked like he was about to get cooked there for a second. OP and Dylan Harper look very similar right now, but I love the length we have on the floor right now. Harper's just going to hoist. Okay, then. I didn't feel like that was an open shot, but he hits a 3, and we take the 3-point lead. So shout out to Dylan Harper for that shot. Stephen Curry going to try to do something on Harper again. Harper played great defense last time, and he plays great defense again, and you cannot score on Dylan Harper so far. He's playing great defense on Steph, and now we just need a basket here to put the game away. Harper is going to push it down to Sharp. Sharp's going to take it in, and he's going to lay it up. That's what we love to see, our backcourt going to work in these final stages of game 6 to put them away. We're up 5 with 41 seconds left to go. Stephen Curry's going to need a 3 here, and Harper is going to stay glued to him, and he just can't do anything. Steph is locked in a box right now. Moses Moody's going to get a screen from Jokic, and Moses Moody gets somewhat of an open look, but he misses it. It's in and out, and they're going to foul Dylan Harper, and that's going to be all she wrote for the Golden State Warriors if I had to guess. Harper's going to put the first one in, and now he's going to put the second one in if I had to guess. And yeah, so that's now a 7-point lead. Warriors will not use their timeout. So let's see, 7-point lead. As long as we get a stop here, this game is more than over. Probably Jimmy Butler is going to try to hoist a 3. Avdia's on him, and Butler steps back. He does put it down. 5-point game with 15 seconds left. but more than likely this game is still over, but we'll let it play out still. So Steph's gonna foul. That's his first foul, so he is not even close to fouling out. Harper is going to put the first one in, and this will make this a 7-point game as long as he makes the second one, and he does. And it's just nothing but net. So the Warriors will call their timeout. I mean, is there any need to watch the rest of this? I mean, I think we probably won, right? I guess I can't save and I don't want to save and quit. I want to sim to the end here. So we'll watch this last possession though. Why not? And then we're going to be in the final. So great execution down the stretch from Dylan Harper. Got Shaedon Sharpe involved. Hit a 3. Steph 3. Okay, he hits it 110 and 106. They are not going to go away yet. So we're going to get another foul or a couple free throws again. This time from Shaedon Sharpe. So let's see if he can come up clutch here. This is going to be dragged out. Oh, he misses the first one. Okay, then that's not good. But he will make the second one. Okay, so it's a 5-point game. They're going to need a 3 here to make things interesting. There's only 11 seconds left. So they're going to need a miracle. Jimmy Butler deep 3. That's not going down. And that's it. That's all she wrote. We're going to the NBA Finals. So Harper is your Conference Finals MVP, and Ricochet is on the other side with the Conference Finals MVP. So in that closeout game, Sharpe and I keep wanting to say Sharpe and Scoot as a habit, but Harper with 30 and Sharpe with 33. So fantastic. Now Atlanta. Do they still have Trae Young? No, they do not. Do they pay Kobe Buffkin what he was asking for? Because he was asking for a crazy amount of money. No, he came back on maybe a qualifying offer or something. Okay, so very good defensive lineup, but I feel like our team should beat them, but we'll see. Game 1 goes to the Hawks. Okay, maybe I spoke too soon. We even it up. Game 3 goes to us. Game 4 goes to us. And that's all she wrote. We're going to end this video off with a championship. Dylan Harper is your Finals MVP. So that honestly has been my favorite Blazer rebuild I've done in quite some time, because I loved how we were able to have Kamara involved, and Avdi and Kamara stayed our starting forwards throughout the video. And then we made the tough decision to trade away Scoot, but I think it was different from what we could have done, and got Alex Sarr here, which was fun. But I hope you guys enjoyed it. Really fun rebuild. Probably my favorite one of the week so far. But thank y'all for watching. This is Crushables. I'm saying peace. Thank you guys so much for watching. Make sure you click here to watch another video that I know you'll love.